Hello, been playing Luke back again, and today I thought I'd do another vlog. Now, I done one vlog a couple of weeks back when I first started out, and when I done it I said I would do more, and I didn't. So I thought I'd do one, and I was thinking about what I could do. And most people, when they say they love films or they review films, most people ask them, what's your favourite film then? And I can never answer it. Personally, I can never answer that film with an answer, because I love so many films and so many different films that I can never say this is my favourite film of all time. You ask my director, I will say this is my favourite film by this director. But films, no, I can't say that. So I thought I'd do a top 5. And well, I thought about my top 5, and I looked at my list and I wrote down the films I liked, and I was at 6. Then I looked at my DVD collection and I managed to get at least 12. So I cut 12 that list, and I thought I'd just do a top 10. Now, my top 10 will not be in any order, really. It will be just my top 10 films, no order, no. One will not be the best and 10 will not be the worst. I have put a little split in it, I have to say. I do have a couple of films that will reach the top 5 and some films don't reach the top 5. And I will say, if it is one of the films that reach it, I know there is 4 on my list that reach my top 5. I don't know what number 5 would be. But anyway, I will start with a film what will probably start the most arguments, because this is an Arnold Schwarzenegger film, and most people argue about Arnold Schwarzenegger films about what the best Arnold Schwarzenegger film is. Most people say Terminator, I personally say Terminator 2, other people say Predator, but this is actually none of those, and it's only Schwarzenegger film that features in my video, and you may have seen it there, is Jingle All The Way. Now this film is on my list because it's a special meaning to me. As a kid, I would go to my grand's bit every weekend and I would watch this film every single weekend. Yeah, that was my thing. I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. I even loved, as a kid anyway, I loved Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze. I thought he was brilliant because it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I love this film. It's probably my favourite Christmas film of all time, so that's why it features in my list. This film is going to be my top 5. I don't know what author this would be, and this is by one of my favourite directors of all time. This is a film by Martin Scorsese, and as a kid, I watched this film constantly. I know I shouldn't have, it is an 18. This film is Goodfellas. Now, I was brought up watching this film, and it has Robert De Niro in it, and I love Robert De Niro, and this is probably the reason I love Robert De Niro. My father showed me it as a kid, and since then I haven't got enough of it. It's still what I watch at least once a year, because it is a 3-hour long film, but I can still not get enough of it. I still sit and watch it. And speaking of my dad, another film that I watch because of my dad is this special film. This is probably my dad's favourite film of all time. This film is The Warriors. Now, most people have heard of this film now, because most people my age anyway remember the video game coming out, the Warriors game coming out, and I remember it coming out as well. But I was excited for the Warriors game because I knew what the Warriors was. I loved the film, and I actually just recently bought it in DVD. I couldn't find it for a while. I did find it on Amazon. I bought it, and it was brilliant. It's brilliant. One of my favourite films. It's probably up there in my top 5 as well. Another film that most people who know me will not be surprised. This is my list. This is by probably my favourite director, if not my top 3 anyway, favourite directors. This film is Clerks. As you can see, I have 2 versions of it. That's how much I love it. It is in DVD and Blu-ray format. That is not because it's my favourite film. As I said, I don't have one. That is because it's one of my favourite directors, and I wanted to see what it was like in Blu-ray. I liked it in Blu-ray, and I liked the DVD format I've got as well. This film, as I said, it's probably my favourite indie film out there. I think this film's brilliant. Most people argue with me. Most people will actually not say this is Kim Smith's best film. Some people say Clerks 2 is better, but personally Clerks 1 it blows out the water, and I think it's the best film ever. And another film I remember seeing it when it came out. Actually, surprising I shouldn't have again. As you may notice, a lot of these films I shouldn't have been old enough to watch when I watched them. This is a Johnny Depp film, and this is not actually a Tim Burton Johnny Depp film. I know, guys, Johnny Depp film, not Tim Burton directed it. Well, he does a lot of them, these. But this is probably the best Johnny Depp film. If you've not seen this film, I suggest you to go out and see it. This is below. This film is fantastic. This film is all about drugs, and it's based on a true story. And I love films based on drugs. It always makes it more interesting. And speaking of drugs, another film on my list is a film about, it's a coming of age stoner film about, as I said, a stoner film, so it's about drugs. And this film is Dazed and Confused. This film actually sat and watched for every second night for a month straight. That's how much I love it. Like most of the films on my list, I usually watch these films at least twice a year. Like Blow, actually I used to watch Blow every 3 months at least. I've stopped doing that now because I've got more films. I'm trying to expand my horizons on films, so I'll watch it more. I'd say I watch it maybe every 6 months now. But yeah, this film's brilliant. Another film on my list is the film that made me fall in love with Brad Pitt. These people may know what I'm going to talk about now since I said Brad Pitt's name. This film is Fight Club. Now, Fight Club, I actually didn't know. I'd seen this film as a younger, and everybody always went on about it, but I didn't pay much attention to it. When I first saw it, I wasn't too impressed. And then when I got to college 2 years ago, everybody went on about it like it was the best film ever. So I bought it, watched it, and I changed my mind instantly. The film is fantastic. Edward Norton in it too. Edward Norton is in one of my top. He's not in my top 10. Sadly, this film, a film called American History X. Edward Norton's in that. Edward Norton is. I think Edward Norton's probably he's brilliant. Played best Hulk too, I would say. But yeah, he's brilliant, and that film's even better because Brad Pitt and Edward Norton's in it. Next film I'm going to pick will be, as I said, our top 3 directors, and there is Kevin Smith, and Clerks is my favourite film. Kevin Smith. Goodfellas is Martin Scorsese, and this is my other favourite director. This is by argument's sake, there's 2 films this man's released, but this is always held as the best film he ever done. The other film before it is really good as well, but this is held as one of the best films of all time actually. This is Pulp Fiction. Now Pulp Fiction, as I say, is a film I watched very, very young, and it is an 18 again, but my parents let me watch films that I wasn't aged to watch if they thought I could handle it, and Pulp Fiction I could handle it. I recently watched it again though as a grown up, and yeah, it confused me. It made more sense now as a grown up, I have to say, but it did confuse me, so it took me 2 or 3 watches, and it finally makes more sense to me. It is a fantastic film. Next film is not this one. I'm going to hold up a box set that's only one in the box I like. This is Aliens, the second one. Now, yeah, most people will not pick a sequel to be in the list. Personally, I think Aliens is a better film. It's more an action film. The first one was a horror film. I'm not a big fan of horror, as I said before, but yeah, Aliens is one of my favourite sci-fi films. As you can see, it is probably the only sci-fi film in my collection, in my top 10 video films anyway. It is fantastic. Everybody's seen it usually, or certain person who will not say his name because I will not say anything by him, but I know he doesn't watch many films. He doesn't know many films. He does do movie reviews, but doesn't know many films and doesn't watch many films. He just recently saw this film, and shame on him. But he's now seen it, and most people have now seen this film. And last but not least is my favourite vampire film of all time. And no, it's not Twilight. This film is, though, I've had an argument, is the Twilight of the 90s. Yeah, I know, I mean, it's in my top 10 films, but this film, if you think about it, when I say what it is, you'll understand what I mean. This film is, well, Lost Boys. Now, Lost Boys, as I said, I compare it to the Twilight of the 90s. That is because it's about teenagers who are vampires, just like Twilight. It's all about a love story, just like Twilight. I don't like Twilight personally. I love Lost Boys, that's the reason it's in my list. Now, yeah, that's my list of top 10 films. None of them in order, as I said. yeah, if you've not seen any of these films, I suggest you go out and watch them all, because personally I think they're all fantastic films. You should go, if you comment down below and tell me what your favourite films are. If you have a favourite film of all time, comment that. If you have a list like mine, list them, and I'll maybe agree with you. We'll have a little banter maybe about your top 10 films, because I like to have a little banter argument about people's top 10 films. Yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a little like if you liked this video, and as I said, leave a comment on your favourite films, and maybe even hit the subscribe button, since, well, my subscriber rate is just sitting there at 8. I need more subscribers, and you get to see my videos as soon as I put them up. So cheers for watching, and I'll see you next time I put a review up.